Hello and welcome to TV International. I'm Patty Debonitas. I'm here today with Fariborz Pooya from the Worker-communist Party of Iran. Welcome,
Thank you very much. Thank you, Patty. Thank you.
We will be talking about the elections in Iran, and first of all, we will have a quick look at one of the most significant results of the elections. Of course, one of the many demonstrations that has started to happen in overall Iran after the election results were pronounced. People are obviously not happy with the results. So I think it is a good way, Fariborz Pooya, if we start to say quickly to people, how do elections actually happen in Iran? Because I think it is very important to tell people the difference between our idea of elections in a democratic way. I think everybody gets really excited about the election and the idea of elections and what is actually happening in Iran.
Well, in Iran, usually elections, when normal definition of election is that it expresses the will of the people, supposedly. In Iran, under the Islamic Republic and Islamic regime, it doesn't work like that. Actually, the government gets its legitimacy from the holy book of Quran and from the supreme leader, no matter what people say, no matter what the parliament decides. So effectively, theoretically and constitutionally, election has no impact on the decision-making process in Iran. So that's the first thing. So actually to talk about what's happened in Iran and call it election, it's absolutely wrong, and this show is a farce. That's the first thing. It's total charade. It doesn't sort of go anywhere near definition of a election where actually people have the right to express their views. What happens is that from thousands of people who register to take part, the guardian,
as candidates,
unelected guardian council and the supreme leader decide who actually who is legitimate to stand for candidacy. They've elected or selected 4 people very close from the elite group and the ruling Islamic elite in Iran. They've decided these are the 4 people that they are going to put to vote of the people. Let me give you an example to actually sharpen the contrast. Imagine for a second in Britain you have the British National Party taking over and saying only white people can take part in the election and become candidates, and only those who've actually agreed with the manifesto of the British National Party and been selected by Nick Griffin, the Supreme Leader. Now, would you call that an election in Britain? You wouldn't. You actually say this is just totally fascism. The same happened in Germany. To take part, or actually, but that's what we've said. We've said, WPI has said for month and month that the election in Islamic Republic has no meaning, and actually what people have to do is to come out and turn the whole situation to their own benefit, not to boycott and stay at home, actually come out. And what we see today in Iran, the demonstrations in many cities in Iran, day and night, is what we've said for many years. And I think that's what it is. Election in Iran is a farce under the Islamic regime. It doesn't express the will and the decision of the people.
So just to summarize this, actually the government or the supreme leader and the Guardian Council, which is part of the government, they are selecting the people who can stand as candidates in the first place.
Yes, the supreme leader and the unelected Guardian Council, a group of mullahs effectively who safeguard the Islamic regime, decide who can stand for elections. So this is just stupid.
And everybody has to agree, of course,
absolutely.
to the party line.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so this illusion of democracy is dismantled.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
But the voter turnout was quite high, with 85%.
Well, that's what they say. That's what they say. That's what they say. Actually, many people oppose, and we've had live TV programs where we've seen many people actually haven't taken part. Those people who actually taken part and they've later on come on the streets, possibly some of them know they didn't take part in the election. Is actually I guess a section of society was trying to actually use the divisions within the ruling Islamic government to actually create more division effectively and try to actually create an environment so that they could actually breathe a bit, have a bit of freedom. And what we've said is that taking part in elections, it doesn't give results. It's an illusion. It won't change anything because they wouldn't let, the supreme leader doesn't allow anybody come to power, which is the slightest, differs from the line of the Islamists and the interest of the Islamic government. So, and also we know that the election has been rigged for many years. We know suddenly within 2 hours, millions of votes added onto Ahmadinejad. We know he doesn't have that support. We know this is election rigging. Everybody knows. I remember one of the slogans before the election was that take your pen, don't go to mosque, because if you go to mosque, you're bound to get your vote actually changed, or take your own pen, because we're using pens to actually rub out what you've written and to actually physically change the vote and ballots, and we know they've actually rigged the ballots. This is not. But the issue is that the election process is not important in a way, because we knew that Ahmadinejad is going to come out of the election ballot box. What's important, I think, is that to recognise that in the Islamic regime, legitimacy of the government comes from the supreme leader and from the Holy Book. The Parliament, doesn't represent anything. The role of president doesn't represent anything. Actually, only the supreme leader and the ruling elite of Islam say it counts.
But so why bother? Why having at least 4 different candidates there and one who is deemed a reformer?
But these are, of course, these are the factions of within the Islamic, and those factions are real factions within the Islamic regime. And actually, because of the pressure and discontent that exists within the Iranian society, they are trying to actually present different means of controlling the discontent in Iran. Some of them even in later month or later days in pre-election, they were talking about giving housewives unemployment benefit or some sort of benefits system, which we know that coming from the mullahs who actually they're well known for misogyny. It was just it was total lies. And all those 4 candidates, we know who they are. They've been architects of the Islamic regime. They're each individually, I think there are a lot of cases personally against them, and one of the things that we want to do as WPI to actually prosecute these 4 people. Okay, so people should not actually be voting and electing these people. They should be prosecuted. That's what we say.
We take a little break and we will be back in a moment.